Hey, how happy are you?
Pretty happy. Been after him for a while. All year.
I can't get it that way.
But, I mean, well, opening day Missouri rifle season, and got it done on this buck we call Twitch. Had 3 years of history with him. I think he was three years ago, or 2.5. So we're thinking he's about 5.5. Planted this new food plot down on the west side of our farm, and he was the first deer there the day after we planted it, just with seeds walking through, and we knew there was good deer down there and bigger deer than him for sure at that time, but he just kind of showed up and stayed. And last year we had him again, kind of the same thing. And the biggest thing with him is he was never like a really dominant buck there. He just kind of hung around and used the farm, but there was definitely more dominant deer in the area. And then this year in the summer we got him again down there, but as this fall range kind of changed, we started getting him to the adjacent public that borders up to our land, and it's a place I like to hunt during gun season. It's a little rut funnel, and we've been seeing him in our food plots a lot. And so during the first 2 weeks of November, I was really hard after him with the bow, and he was just kind of a step ahead of us. Really weird though, like we've noticed he's really active on hot days. The cold fronts, he never really came out in the fields or ate in the plots. And today, I mean, the high is like 80 degrees day openings. It was 62 this morning. And he came through about 6:45. And you know, it was, you know, kind of when you're deep in that timber, I mean, it's hard to see a long way away. But he came in, and I just saw this right side of him that just carries a lot of mass. He's always had this. He's always had this little crab claw looking thing on the end, so it's really easy to know who he is. I mean, his rack's not changed in 3 years. It's just gotten bigger, and this year he's kind of just carried a little more mass. And down here in the Ozarks, man, they just don't, these mountain bucks on the national forest, they just don't usually carry a lot of mass. So he kind of blew up, and there was a bigger deer earlier this fall down in there that I was kind of after, but that buck disappeared, and he kind of just took it over, and he was the most consistent. And you know, we didn't have a lot of pictures of him down there where I was hunting for the last 2 weeks, but he'd pop up in a food plot here and there, and I just knew he was living in there. I just stayed out of there, just because it's so hard to hunt down there with a bow, and there's 15 different trails that intersect down there that, you know, you just never know which way these deer are going to go. So it kind of evens the odds when you get the rifle in your hands. And this morning he came to my stand at 5 yards, so I couldn't stop him. Tried stopping him, and he didn't, and I put it on his shoulder, and he took a step when I shot and kind of hit him back. And I was texting Dad for an hour and a half, freaking out, thinking I missed him. But the way he took off, I mean, he just hunched and took off hard, and I was like, I've just never seen a deer react that way when I've shot at him and missed. And so we went back and forth all morning, and I waited till about 8, and I just couldn't wait any longer. So I went down to try to find blood, and it didn't look good at first. I didn't see any blood, but I knew where he ran. So I went about 10-15 yards from where I shot him, and I started picking up blood, and he probably ran 80 yards, and I found him. And it was just, you know, I don't think I put my hands on him for the first 20 minutes. Made some phone calls, called my wife. I don't know, this deer just means a lot to me and everyone. It's not really one I made the joke if I didn't want to kill him, you know, because he's kind of like the mascot for the farm. He's always been there. You know, it's like you just know he's going to be there. Even when things are slow, even when the mature bucks aren't showing up, like you knew Twitch was going to be around. And he was just cool to see when he was younger, and he just stayed here, and he was safe as long as he stayed here, and he did, and he just kind of took that area over. And then when I was going to find him, I mean, the rubs he was putting on some of these cedar trees were, I mean, huge rubs. And so, and he's got crap all in his tines and stuff where he'd been rubbing. He just, you know, he was a dominant buck in that area, and just really blessed to take him, because he's a heck of a deer for down here. Probably the biggest mass deer we've ever shot down here, and just a cool story. A lot of the bucks I killed down there in that national forest I don't really have history with. Dad's killed one down there we had never seen before. I killed one 2 years ago that I had never seen. I just got a picture of him the night before on a doe, and that doe walked right by him. So to have a buck and actually target one and kind of know and trust the process that he's going to be there, because there was a lot of times I texted Dad when a couple cold fronts came through during bow season, and I was like, I need to go in there, and I just couldn't get myself to do it because I knew he was in there, and I didn't want to bump him because I knew he bedded close, and I knew he used it, and I just I was just biding my time till rifle season came, that even if he came 80 yards or 100 yards away from me, I could still probably get a shot or at least put eyes on him. And I'm so glad I did and that it paid off. I didn't think it was going to be this morning just because it was so hot, and it was hot yesterday, and I just thought down in that bottom they didn't need to come out here. But he's been running this farm. He's been looking for does. He was locked up for I think a week or so. I got him I think last Friday it was, on camera, and he was locked from there, and we got a picture of him I think Wednesday in the food plot cruising, and so I knew he was close. I knew he was where he was coming from. He was probably going through that national forest in the mornings and just making his loop. So it's nice to kind of start to figure this place out a little bit, and what me and Dad and Grandpa talk about all the time is like these loops these bucks make around here. It's so random, but trying to catch them and just it gets hard sometimes when you know you're in the right spot and you're doing what you need to do, but you just don't see the deer you need to. So no, it was awesome. I mean, 10 minutes after I shot, I had a doe and her yearling come through. The yearling was under my stand licking my pull rope for my bag. And then I saw another doe down kind of where he ran, where I shot him, and she was kind of circling and acting a little weird, and I just didn't know if she was catching my wind or she never spooked, but that's what kind of gave me a little confidence that maybe she ran into she like smelt him laying there and was a little uncomfortable. So but yeah, once I got down, found that blood, it was kind of a sense of relief that I at least hit him. And then I was just praying that I gave him enough time and I didn't jump him, and I didn't want it to end where he's wounded somewhere and we never find him. So, I wanted this story to end right, and I wish I would have made a little better shot, but I mean, these deer down here are just so hard to chase after, but it makes it so worth it. So yeah, great story and a great ending to one of probably my favorite deer I've ever chased. So
you got to tell him why we call him Twitch.
Oh yeah, so he's Twitch because when he was 2, he's got this weird thing with his tail that it just never sets still. It's always got like a little, I don't know if he's got like a little nerve thing or what's going on, but it's not like a wiggle, it's just like a slight twitch. And every video I have of him, it's twitching. So we just call him Twitch, and I thought it was a funny name for him. And I kind of knew when I shot him and he took off running, his tail wasn't moving, it was tucked. So I was like, that's not like him, and it's not like deer to just kind of hunch like that and just sprint so hard that low to the ground. So I was on my phone texting Chad, texting Michaela. They're kind of reassuring me like, dude, you hit him, you're fine. I mean, I was looking at every forum page you could find. I was using ChatGPT to kind of, what they thought based on, the info I had, and everything said guts, and that's what everyone was saying, and that's what I thought too. He took a step when he was kind of quartering from me, and 10 yards with a gun is a little crazy. I wish I had my bow in my hand, because I feel like I would have put it on him a lot easier with that, but it was actually a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. So just so happy with what happened, and blessed that I could take this animal, and my wife for allowing me to do this all the time. I know she gets sick of hearing me talk about these deer, and I know I annoy Dad and Grandpa always saying, I think, what do you think about this? Random calls that, after work I'll call Dad and be like, hey, what do you think? I got a picture of him here, what do you think he's doing? And it's just nice that it finally paid off for us. And yeah, we still got 3 weeks of of season left with the extended CWD, so hopefully we get Grandpa and Dad on a deer. And yeah, it's kind of ends my rifle season. I might take out a doe or something if she starts blowing at me if I'm hunting with someone, but other than that...
You know the best thing, though, don't you?
What's that?
I get to see my granddaughter today because
so
she's coming to see the deer.
Tatum and Michaela are coming up to see him, so
I get to see my granddaughter.
It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait for him to get here, and we're gonna take care of this deer and get him cleaned up. And yeah, thanks for following along. Did I get a little heart? Maybe I nailed it a little bit.
Maybe.
I mean, I didn't cut that.
Right.
We've got plenty of water. It's not frozen.
It's clumped in there. I had to mix some heart then.
Yeah.
I must have just not got both lungs, or just better than I thought I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's a bullet going down the side of it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't feel as bad. No, I put it right where I wanted it. Look at the entryway.
Yeah.
He was just quartered.
Yeah, he just quartered, and it came out back there, but that's where it went in, right there by the shoulder. So you did it. I mean,
I just can't believe you ran that far.
You did it
I mean,
at an angle
I
like that?
aimed right here, so that I tried to put it on the shoulder, because I'm gonna break that fucking shoulder.
Right.
It was almost a good shot.
So
It was a pretty good shot.
I mean, he's at 10. He wouldn't stop, so I'm guessing he took a little bit of a step because I was aiming like right here.
Right.
And I just put it. Okay, I don't feel so bad about it.
I got you on camera now, chick.
What is that?
Look.
Whoa, is that a deer? Yeah, is it a big one? Look at that antler. Want to pet it? Is that cool? Yeah, sure. You want to take a picture with it? Yeah. You want to take a picture with it? Okay.
Is that pretty cool?
Damn, he's got another gore right here in his back. Another one right
He's got
here.
a tick or two.
He got a shot, I think.
You thought that big coach.
You've been fighting.
But didn't.
Think that's a fight one? Got that one on the back of his head.
Man, that looks nah, that's a gore because there's no hole underneath it.
Yeah, he's been fighting.
He's been fighting,
He's got
boy.
one
He's
right
got
here.
one right there on the back of his neck too.
You want to touch it?
Wow.
You lay on the ground.
Can we put him on the ground so you can hold his antler? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We have the keys in there. She'd know for you. Can you smile at Mama? Yeah, it's a deer.
All right, look here. Smile. Can you say cheese?
Tatum.
Tatum, say cheese. Look up. Woo, that's pretty.
I was a little worried if she'd like see the blood and be like, what? Yeah. Do you like holding the antlers?
Oh.
She kidding? You want to stand behind him and hold the antlers? Come here. Come stand right here. Hold the antlers. There you go. Good
There
job.
you go.
Smile at Mama. She say cheese.
Tatum ring.
Look at us.
Look at Mama.
Look up. Look up at Mom. Look at Mom.
Over here, babe. Perfect. See, smile real big.
What's up, guys? We're back here. I was processing Twitch, getting all the meat off of them, and was working on the back straps, and I noticed like something felt pretty hard in there. I didn't know what it was, and then I see this red stuff sticking out of it, and you can see where he was shot by an archery hunter, and this is fletching that's living in him. No idea when it happened. He seemed pretty healthy all the time when we saw him. Never saw any wound holes. Kind of lost him a little bit last year during gun season, but just kind of thought that was during the rut. He was off somewhere else. Got him back this summer. Everything seemed fine. But yeah, just seeing this just shows how tough these animals are. If you know of this buck and you were the one who shot him, please let me know. I mean, it just adds to the story. I'd love to know where he was, how it happened. But yeah, he's just an old Ozark mountain buck that's just tough as nails. First time I've ever seen anything like this, ever shot a deer that was wounded previously. So really cool. If you guys have stories where you found things in bucks, I'd love to hear what you guys have found. But just another thing to the story with this buck that is just really crazy and nothing we've ever seen. So thanks for following along with this journey. It's been awesome. We're still soaking it in. Still can't believe we were able to get in front of him and put him on the ground. So just really cool, and this is one more thing to make this deer so special. So thanks for following along.